What's up, buddy?
Man, we're doing great. Excited to have you on the show. We got people listening all around the country wanting to know about what's up with the New Kids on the Block. Who called who first to hook this thing up, and how did that conversation go when you called or they called?
Well, the good news was it wasn't like some, Lou Pearlman type of person calling us up, because we're all broke and destitute,
Right. You've all been successful, man.
Well, I think Joe McIntyre had reached out to me about a year before we decided to get together and, just said, hey, man, we should go on tour one day, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, we'll see. And a year after that, I just happened to be in New York. I was shooting a movie with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, and for some reason, I just had a notion to call my old music lawyer, and I called him up, and he gave me a song. I'm getting ready to shoot the movie, and I just stopped by this guy's office, and he handed me a demo tape. I found this song on there. It was written by a 23-year-old kid who grew up being a huge New Kids fan, and he lived up in Canada. And I heard the song, and it really grabbed me. And I had heard many songs throughout the years, but nothing, that was going to take me away from my acting career. But the song really just sort of grabbed my attention, and I decided to, go see Jordan. I was in Boston at the time. After, I left New York, went to Boston, I drove by Jordan's house, played him the song, and he felt the same way I did. I played it for Joey. He felt the same way, and I said, you know what, let's cut the song, see how it goes, and if the energy's good and we like it, maybe we'll do another one. And 20 songs later, a record deal with Interscope later, selling out concerts later. I mean, here we are. It took on a life of its own, and it just started with us, man. It started with one song. It started with me hearing it, and the guys sort of being on board with it, and here we are.
Cincinnati's Q102. It's Brian and Laura with Donnie Wahlberg of New Kids on the Block. Of course, the reunion tour happening, the CD coming. We're playing Summertime. Donnie, what's it feel like, man? I mean, you guys are back on the top 40 chart. It's a top 20 song with Summertime. How's it feel to be back after all these years?
You know what? It hasn't really sunk in yet, I don't think. I think the song Summertime, I mean, it's been such an organic process. I mean, I hate to sound sappy all the time, but it's just all been gone down the right way. I mean, I wrote Summertime with the same kid who wrote that first song, the Canadian kid. I called him one night. I said, what are you doing? He said, nothing. I said, let's write a song. He came over to the house. We just sat there and we wrote Summertime. And
wow.
And I think it was like a month and a half ago we wrote the song, and it's climbing the charts. I mean, it's just really been an unbelievable journey for us. And for me, having put my acting career on hold and sort of, really committed to this full time and sort of been one of the guys taking the lead on the whole thing. I mean, I'm so busy I don't have time to enjoy it as much as I'd like to, but I'm just really most grateful to the fans, for everything, and the radio stations. I mean, you guys having us on today, I mean, it really means a lot. It's having a second chance to do this. I never thought it would be as emotional for me as it has been, but it's been really an amazing experience, and I'm really humbled by the generosity of the fans and radio and the promoters and everybody. It's just been overwhelming.
Dude, do you think that, obviously you're at a way different point in your life, I mean, did you appreciate what was happening, or could you even understand what was happening when you guys first blew up as opposed to now?
I honestly, I think I did appreciate it a lot. I think, being young, you have wants and needs and stuff like that. And sometimes you have a tendency to be a little more selfish. But I think one of the reasons that this comeback has been so well received is that we really did appreciate it back then. We really were grateful to the fans. I mean, I remember I would do a concert and come off stage, and I'd usually spend about 4 hours in the hotel lobby signing autographs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the sea of people that would be there. I mean, I tried to really appreciate it all the time back then, but even though I did appreciate it back then, I think now, being a little bit older and having lived a lot more, I definitely appreciate it more now. It's obviously not at the same levels that it was before, but I mean, I'm humbled by it all the time, and I've always tried to make time for fans and make time for people and be as generous as I can. And, to see the generosity come back after all these years is really, really just, it's unbelievable.
Cincinnati's Q102, Donnie Wahlberg of New Kids on the Block, joining us here with Brian and Laura on Q102. Donnie, we're going to play Summertime, your new big hit. And then I want to ask you how you feel about your fans. Coming up next on Q102, it's the New Kids on the Block and Summertime on Cincinnati's Q102. That's Summertime, New Kids on the Block at Cincinnati's Q102. We're lucky to have Donnie Wahlberg on the phone with us today. Dude, I told you just a moment ago before we started the song, I wanted to ask you how you felt about your fans. You know, a lot of bands have some really hardcore fans, but I think you have some of the best fans in the world.
You know what? I really cannot disagree with you. I think we really do have the best fans in the world. And the amazing thing is they've grown up and like they've just taken over like office buildings and you know, in hair salons. I mean, they're working 9 to 5 and you know, they're successful and they have jobs and they have kids, and it's like they're infiltrating everything. Daycare centers, you name it. It's like, you know, they're teachers and, you know, everywhere we go, we hear about, you know, I work with these 4 ladies and, you know, they're going crazy and the whole office is buzzing, and it's like, it's so different than what it used to be like, where it was like, you know, my little sister is 9 years old and she loves you. I mean, these are like grown people now who have lives and they have careers and you know, to hear the reaction from them, it's really amazing.
Cincinnati's Q102, it's Brian and Laura with Donnie Wahlberg of New Kids on the Block. Dude, when do you guys hit the tour? When is it kicking off?
Yeah, we're going to hit the road in early September. We're starting up in Toronto, and we're going to do the East Coast. We're going to swoop around down south to the West Coast and come back. We're going to hit the Midwest and hopefully get to Cincinnati. It's one of my favorite cities ever. So,
dude, we need to get you into town. And when's the CD? When we going to see the CD?
The CD will be out in August. We were going to do it in September, but we want to get it out way before the tour so the fans can get up on all the new songs and stuff before we hit the road. So it's looking like August, and you know, we're gonna tour as long as the fans want it and as far around the world as they want it.
Well, Donnie, we love you in the movies, man. Congrats on all your success there, and there's a whole lot of people excited about this New Kids reunion, and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
All right, brother. We'll see you on the road somewhere. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.